You know, when this all started, there were 4 of us here. And I think Councilman Hickey, I think you were at that conference. All 4 of us agreed to take those planners out. 2 people here flip-flopped and changed their minds and said, no, we'll leave them there. And I think at the first meeting or the second meeting where this was being discussed, there was even a newspaper article saying that the city asked if the property owners would pay. I think, Mayor, you might have. I think, Councilman Only, you might have. But there was no clarification on that, and I believe, actually, the city probably can't take money from that because that might be considered unethical to do that, unless there's some precedent or some law that says that we can do that. But I felt that we were refused the right to decide on that resolution, and that information should have been provided to everybody on council, not just one person or 2 people. That's an issue. That obviously is a lack of transparency right there. The fact that some people had information and didn't want to share it, but just wanted to spring it on us because we didn't have that information in front of us. And also, the timing of resolutions is that you can add a resolution even if it's not on the agenda. And I think in this case, and it says, no resolution will be considered by the City Council unless filed with the City Clerk on or before Wednesday next preceding a regular meeting, except such resolutions which the majority of the council decide are in emergency or routine categories. Therefore, I would like to propose a resolution, make a motion on a resolution, because it is an emergency now, because the concrete is now being poured and it's going to cost the city more money than it did 2 weeks ago when we could have addressed this. But I am proposing a resolution that approves amendment number 3 to the agreement with Barton and LaJudas for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative Streetscape Project, and that is for an emergency to avoid future costs.
Point of order. That's
second. We
no.
have a second.
Excuse me.
We have a second.
I'm the chair. I determine without debate, and if you look at the rules and you go on a little bit further, you'll notice that parliamentary procedure is done under Robert rules. You failed to go on and read the rules. And parliamentary procedure is specific, says that the Corporation Council will be the parliamentarian. Why didn't you mention that part? Because that is the part that is at issue here. And that's the rules that were followed. The Corporation Council is the parliamentarian. It's specifically in there. You failed and neglected to mention that, number 1. Number 2 is you are blaming others that you didn't do your homework and know the rules of Robert rules or look them up or do anything. And it's everybody else's fault now. It reminds me.
Excuse me. Point of order here.
I already have a point of order.
Stop. Personally, what Lisa is speaking right now. Right?
No.
Yeah, you're not going to do the same thing you did the last meeting. You're not going to bully your way through this. And I was not part of the majority last time because I cannot be appointed.
You're out of order. You're out of order.
I'm telling you, you said last week that I was made a part of the majority.
Can you stop?
You cannot.
You're out of order.
To the Open
You're
Government
out
Committee.
of order.
You were wrong.
You're out of
Mr.
order.
Millard
Council
gave false information at that meeting about appointing me a negative. I got a
Excuse
no
me.
vote. You
Council,
can't have me get
Mr.
a no
Millard,
vote.
could you
I didn't
please
vote.
go over Robert rules again?
It doesn't
to
matter.
help educate
We're talking
the
about
council
the council
members?
rules
Okay.
right now.
Hold on 1 second.
You want to move for a recess so we can go talk about it in the back?
Well, as far as I know, we had a first and we had a second.
I think that
You got a second.
everybody And so awareness.
Mr. Bullard, can I speak up? Mr. Mayor, may I say something?
There's no cost.
I can't hear the attorney to document anything that he's been saying. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Yes.
I don't know if the
Fast to compensate
microphone is on or...
during a period
So,
when
I was looking under the rules of council if I'm gonna be recognized by the mayor.
So,
It's under
if I can-
section 321.
Yeah, 321-18, authority of points of parliamentary law, which the councilwoman failed to read.
It's acknowledged.
In all cases, if I can just read it, in all cases involving points of parliamentary law not provided for by the rules, the corporation council shall act as the parliamentary, and Robert Rules of Order shall be accepted as the authority. So,
That's correct.
council, if you could go over Robert Rules and the point of that's incorrect?
It's incorrect.
What
First of all, the council
you read
rules
what that
take
says,
precedent over
As the
Robert's
school
rules.
year kicks off,
Okay,
teachers
fine.
will see
But what about,
textbooks
what does
and
17
pencils,
say?
along with something they
In
probably
all
don't
points of
want.
parliamentary law, Robert's rules shall be accepted as the authority.
Two other attorneys have opined on this issue.
What
Maybe
attorneys?
Councilwoman-
Yeah, could you tell us what attorneys for the record?
Listen, all I know is
Guess not.
that if you cannot say that you cannot go back and revisit a resolution because you can't bind future councils.
Exactly, a future council can go back and change it.
But anybody can.
You're right, a future council next year,
No,
a future council can change
No.
everything if they
Last
want.
week
So-
was the future council.
So that number 17, the reconsideration, that was only for that meeting.
And that meeting where it was tabled was expired, and then you go to points of Robert Rules, parliamentary procedure, the corporation council is the parliamentarian. They're clear, you failed to go on and read the next rule.
No, you know what? You failed to disclose to the rest of council.
I failed to do
that
your homework for
already
you.
had that information.
I
No,
failed to do your homework for
Because
you.
you wanted to make it a political point, not about city business. You wanted to make it political.
That's right.
If we
And
could, just for a
excuse me,
second, Mr.
excuse
Bullard,
me.
you're recognized. If you could go to the parliamentary procedure and
Yes, we,
go ahead.